Hey everyone, welcome to your weekly Glam Guidance. This week's episode, we're going to slay the day and do your makeup with me. So here we go. All right, first step I'm gonna use is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. So this is gonna go all over the face. This is gonna create my first layer from my skincare to my makeup. And we're gonna go ahead and just use our fingers and place this all over. Yes, remember to clean your hands before doing your makeup. All right. Once you've had that first base on, I'm actually gonna put a base onto my eyelids. So this is gonna help my makeup, eyeshadow specifically, stay way longer than it typically would without. All right, we've got those lids prepped and primed and ready to go. Sorry, I had to turn my light up a little bit there so I could see a little better with all this natural light coming in the window. All right, next I wanna go ahead and start doing my eyeshadow. So I usually do my foundation first, but I wanna teach you guys to do your eyes first, because if you get any fallout, you can clean that up before you move on and do that flawless complexion that you're used to doing and not messing it up with that eyeshadow that falls out. So I typically like a small, compact, medium eyeshadow brush to go ahead and do my darkest shade. And I'm gonna be using the Soft Glam palette. Oh, I didn't even tell you what my eyeshadow primer was. That was Painterly from MAC Paint Pot. Anyways, back to Soft Glam from Anastasia. Sorry, it's really dirty from being in my travel bag, but we're gonna use Rustic and Cypress Umber. I like to double dip in both of them and then do just the outside V of my eyelid. So I start with like the top of the V and then I go to the bottom of the V. Anything you do on top, you should do on bottom. So that's just gonna give me a little bit of eye contour. I'm probably gonna darken that up a little later once I see how the rest of the makeup is going. So I'm gonna do the other eye. Such a weird location. Try not to poke yourself in the eye. All right, next I'm gonna use one of those blending brushes. So this one is dome shaped, has those fluffier bristles, and I'm gonna go into Rustic, which is one of the shades I just used, Burnt Orange and Orange Soda. So I'm gonna dip in all three, and I'm literally just gonna go over the harsh lines. So the top of that V and right at the end of that V. And I'm just gonna kind of windshield wiper, back and forth motion. Same thing on the bottom. This is why we're doing our eyes first. And we're gonna do the other side. So again, we're blending the harsh lines. I like to do it this way, and again, there's no wrong way in makeup. It's always just preference, but the concepts are the same. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting with the darkest shade and blending my way out to the lightest shade so that it's easier to get that blend. Otherwise, you're like sitting there forever trying to blend, and we don't have that much time this morning. So I'm going to then take a little bit of just the Burnt Orange and Orange Soda, and I'm just gonna go across the crease. So everybody's crease is in a different place, which we'll talk about on the eye shapes video. But you're just gonna wanna get that in the crease and start to get that blend, as you can see. All right. So we're starting to blend here. Next, I'm actually going to use the Tartelette Toast Dip palette, another one of my faves. And I'm going to dip into Latte. And I'm just going to do a little more in that crease. This is just going to give it a little more brown tone versus the orange. We're also going to put blush and bronzer in this crease later. I like to, pull it all together with a more cohesive look by doing that. Now I'm going to dip into Sunrise and S'more with a different blending brush because it's a lighter shade. And I'm just going to go again over those harsher lines that we created. And see how much more blended this side is from this side. It just gives you that auto blend. It's like a little filter. All right. So next we are going to, I'm actually going to put a little, because we are going to do blush and bronzer in there, I'm actually just going to put a little Hoola in there now. So this is Hoola by Benefit. This is the jumbo size. I hope they bring it back because I love this size. It's perfect for when I do my bronzer. Again, in that crease, giving it some depth with those different shades of browns. Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that harsh line again. Nothing on my brush, just whatever was left over from that last lighter shade, just to kind of give it a little blend. All right, so at this point, I'm basically done with my eye, besides like your liner, your mascara, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my complexion. That way I can see where else I need to go with this. All right, so I'm not gonna use concealer today. It looks like I got enough sleep. I might have a little bit of deepness here in the corners, but we'll see if our foundation takes that away. So I'm gonna use the Lancome Renergy Lift Makeup, and this is shade 260N. And I'm going to use the Buffing Foundation Brush. It's like a flat foundation brush, one of my faves. And I'm going to start in the middle of the face and work it out. This has pretty good coverage. It's like I guess you would call it a medium coverage. You can work it up to more of a fuller coverage, but it really does stay looking like skin, which I love about it. So you can really see the difference between this side and this side. Just gets rid of my discoloration, my redness, covered up that little bit of concealer area that I really wanted it to do. I don't want to add too much, layering, because it can look a little cakier, and we don't want cakey makeup. So I'm not going to add concealer because it doesn't look like I need it. If I need it throughout the day, maybe I'll bring it with me, but I don't think I do. All right, so you all see the difference, looking great. Moving on to the other side. Sorry if you can hear my cats freaking out. I won't let them in the bedroom, so they're having a fit. All right, so we have our foundation on. Now we're just gonna let this sit for a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. That way I give this a little time to sink into my skin, where it's gonna fall with the warmth of my skin. And then we can kind of go from there. So I'm gonna start with the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I do shade 3.5, which is a neutral. I'm gonna go ahead and use the spoolie and comb that brow upward, just to give it a nice feathery look, as opposed to what it looks like normally. And then I'm just going to take the pointed end of this brush, the tip of this pencil, and I'm actually going to baseline. So we're going to literally take this and go through that last line of hair, but we're not going outside of our natural shape. So I'm going from 0.1 to 0.2, so 1, 2, and 3, 0.1 to 0.2, and then we're going to go 2 to 3. All right, so once I've gotten this baselined, I'm literally just gonna brush it out to make it look a little more natural and like there isn't a line drawn straight through the brow. So you can kind of diffuse that line out. And I see that I'm missing a couple hairs here and here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do hair-like strokes through those little areas and brush that out as well. If you noticed, I did not go all the way from 0.1 to 0.2. I stopped about mid-range because it's not going to look as natural with a line drawn all the way in. So I'm going to leave it like this for a moment. We're going to do the other side. And if you guys have seen me in other videos, I am blind as a bat. And so this is very hard. I don't have my contacts in for me to see this far away from the mirror while I record. So please bear with me if there are any crazy things that you can see that I can't see. All right. And these lights are not forgiving either, so there's that part. All right, so we've had those last little strips in there that I'm missing. And now we're gonna move on to Benefit's micro-filling pen, brow micro-filling pen. This thing has 3 little marker tips to it. Wow, you can barely see that on camera. Well, anyways, we're gonna take that straight up and down. This is shade Blonde, and I'm literally just gonna add those same hair-like strokes to the beginning of my brow. But this will make it look nice and natural. We're gonna overlap just a smidge with that 2 shade. We're gonna go from point 1 to point 2. So we're gonna go over here and do it on this side as well. My cats are like, Mom, you didn't feed me yet. What are you in there doing? All right, so now that we have our brow product on, sorry, I have an itch. We are also gonna put in something that just launched, and it is Benefit's Fluff Up Brow Wax. So if you're familiar with their 24-hour brow setter, which used to be my fave, this is more of a flexible hold. So that one, 24-hour brow setters, we were really like hard hold hairspray. This is your flexible hold. So this is not gonna go on just as clear as 24-hour. This is actually like shaded a little white, but it does dry, and it dries completely matte instead of the little shine that 24-hour has. And this is just gonna hold my brows in place, but also give me flexible hold so that if I wanna move them around later, I can. 24-hour is exactly what it sounds like. It does not move once you've set those brows. So now we've got our little brow setter in, gives it that nice fluffy look. All right, we've let our foundation sit for a little bit. So now we wanna add our layer, and we're gonna go ahead and add the Laura Mercier. It is her translucent powder, so no shade or anything like that. I'm gonna use a domed puffy brush by It. I believe it's their Brilliant powder brush. Looks like this. And we're literally gonna do the same thing. Start at the center of the face, anywhere that you would get the most shiny. And I literally just am gonna take whatever excess is over once I've done the middle to the cheeks, because I literally wanna create that barrier. And then just a really light layer up throughout. You may not even need to add product back to the brush. So this is not to like cake it on like powder foundation. This is just a dusting of translucent powder. All right. So we're gonna let that set for just a minute. While we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner. So I'm just doing a quick makeup look today because like I said, we're short on time. So we're just gonna use the ColourPop liquid liner. This is the brown. I don't see a shade actually on it. Oh, I lied. It is Grande. And so I'm just gonna do a quick, this is the marker tip liner, and I'm just gonna do a quick wing. So I'm gonna start diagonally corner of the eye, and I'm literally just gonna place it down so that I have a vantage point, and then I'm gonna connect. Again, don't have my contacts in today. Don't judge me. So it's just gonna give me a little wing. I don't like to pull this wing too far. Oh, I gotta fix it. I actually only pull this to about where the dark ends. I don't even pull it all the way in because it just gives me more lifted appearance. All right, so we've got our little wingies on, ready to go for that. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of the, actually, no. Yep, okay. So the Bad Gal Bang waterproof liner. I'm just gonna do this in the upper waterline, just so this blends a little bit right here. So you see how this like looks like you can see the gap where you can't see the gap now. So it just gives me a little depth of color, that's all. All right, I'm not gonna do mascara just yet. So now we're gonna go back, now that we've let our Laura Mercier sit on the skin for a second, we're gonna go in with our Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer. So I know it sounds crazy because most people are gonna be like, what, you put cream over powder? Again, if we're just doing that light dusting, it shouldn't affect it. So I'm just doing her cream bronzer, and this is, I believe, number 2. It is. Okay, so number 2. And I'm literally just going to take this right above where my natural crease is. So if you do a fishy face, we're going right above that. We want to lift the face upward. We don't want to drag it down. So if we do it in the natural divot of the face there, it's going to drag the face down. So we really don't want to do that. We want to lift it. So this is going to give a more lifted appearance. I like to do a little up into the temple there because I'm going to do my forehead. So again, this is not the only bronzer we're putting on, so just go easy, just get a little on there. This is really gonna help your bronzer stick to give you that contour that you're looking for. And I'm literally gonna do under my chin here. Now remember, a real contour is more like cool or neutral. This is really just to add warmth to the face. So you can use it as it's not a contour, but you can use it to contour the face or give the appearance of contour. Let's put it that way. Give the appearance of contour, but it is not a contour product. Bronzer is to add warmth to the face, and it's, you know, still cold out there. So, all right, I'm gonna do a little on my forehead, just adding that warmth all over. Now we're going in for powder. So we were gonna go ahead and use that Hoola bronzer that we started with on the lid, and I'm gonna use a huge fluffy brush by It. And it is their all over powder brush. So I'm gonna dip that in there, and then I'm just gonna literally put it right over what we just did. Don't worry too much about placement because again, we're diffusing shades. So kind of like we did with our eyeshadow, because I can't talk today clearly. And so we're just gonna kind of diffuse that shade out. This is our lighter shade going over our darker shade and just diffusing the color. All right, so now we've got our like all over warmth. Give it some time to set and we'll blend in a moment. I usually take the foundation that's left on my brush and kind of blend it through, so you'll see like there's some harsher lines, but you'll see what we do in a moment. So we talked about, we're also going to use our blush in our shadow. So today, because it is a blustery cold day for us here, I'm going to use Willa. It's a Benefit shade. It is a neutral pink. So I'm actually going to use this on my cheeks, and then I'm going to put it in my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to dab a little bit onto, this is a pointed domed blush brush here, and I'm literally just doing right on the apple of the cheek, right where I smile the biggest. And I work that back towards that bronzer. So this is already helping with that blend. Okay, so once we have that in our cheek, now we're just gonna put it with that same dome shaped blender in that crease. It's gonna brighten up that crease. So I want you to take a look at this eye versus this eye. Kind of brings it all together. All right, now I'm just gonna pop a little bit of Tickle highlighter on by Benefit just to give my cheeks a little shine here. You can do that in the little corners if you want. All right, so now I'm just gonna pop on some mascara and a lip, and we are ready to go. If you wanted some more blending here, you could gladly, again, take that foundation brush with nothing else on it and just run across those harsh lines very softly. Don't, like, you know, do it like you're doing your foundation because you'll wipe everything off. But this just gives it a nice little natural blend. All right, so mascara today, I'm gonna use Roller Lash. I just got a lash lift and tint because I love them and it helps my lashes look fuller. So I'm just gonna pop a light coat of that so that you can really see them. And this is a lifting curling mascara, so this really helps kind of press them to the sky. Is black as night. Yeah. All right, last but not least, let's pop a lip balm. We're also going to use Benefit's California Kissin' Balm. This has got like shea butter in it, and it is really hydrating. It's in nude pink. I'm just going to rub that, because I really just want something nice and sheer. And there we are. Hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed our video today. See you next time.